What up? What up? You tapped in with Justin Love. My homie's back again. It's Jimmy Bell. It's Doug Worthington. It's Buck Top, baby.
Bow, 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 bow. Go Bucks. What's up, Jimmy Bell? Hope all
Doug,
is well. Good to see
Happy
you,
Doug.
love. You just had a birthday early in the week, about a week ago. Happy belated.
Man, you talking me or Jimmy?
You got the
Oh,
birthday.
I thought Jimmy had another one this year.
No, this
No, I'm
past
pretty sure.
Sunday, man. I know it's almost a week ago, but I just want to give you a
Oh,
shout
you're
out on
right. It
camera
is.
again.
Daggone, you're right. It is, man. That's
Yeah,
that's how
man.
old I am these days, man. I be forgetting my birthdays.
That's all
Look,
right.
hey, I don't care what anybody says. When you get to a certain age, you're just like, this is the decade I'm in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, are
I
you
ain't mad
30
at you.
this, 40s? I don't know. I'm 40 something. That's all I can really remember. Look,
Yeah,
y'all, we had a week off last week and we back at it again. This time we're going out left, going out to Washington to kick off the Big Ten season. Um, Gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I think this is the time when we really, I want to say it's the time that we really shine because I felt like we did that the first week. But this is when we're going to really see what we made of. So
No,
um,
absolutely.
let's let's go ahead and get into it, man. Um, let's get into that 3 point stance. Jimmy, talk to me about the Huskies.
it's going to be fun. Hey, Doug, did you guys ever play Washington in your career?
Listen, man, doing research on this game, I was excited because I played against Washington in the Husky Stadium in 2007,
Okay.
18 years ago. So,
Mm.
Wow.
yeah, it was a game, man, 33-14. And I grew up in that game, but I'll talk more about that. But, yeah, I definitely played the Huskies at their crib. Got a W,
Yeah,
too.
so we did. So we
That's
have
what's up.
probably two contrasting but similar experiences. So we both did play in the stadium, both on top of our games. It's going to be interesting one because they are going out to the West Coast. It's a Big Ten game,
Hmm.
which is
Right,
different. Like this is all
right.
different. The attitude is different. Why we're going out there is different. It's not a all it's not a preseason game, so to speak. This is a Big Ten game against a historic, inconsistent historic program, like most generally are. Super loud stadium. They pride themselves on being loud. That's really the Seattle area, right? The Seahawks are the
Mm-hmm.
same way. They
Yeah.
really
Yep.
pride themselves in their crowd participation, and they're going to get it because Doug always talks about how everybody gives their best shot for the Buckeyes. There's only a few stadiums that no matter what teams you play are going to be full. That's going to be us. That's going to be Penn State. That's going to be the team up north and probably an LSU.
Mm.
Otherwise, it's generally the big games, and for them, this is going to be a big game. You know, it's another thing is interesting. This whole Big Ten, Pac-10 mesh, and I'm getting into it.
Yeah.
This is the old Purdue coach. This is that old Illinois coach, that old Purdue coach,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where I don't know if it was in a Pac-10, Big Ten thing, if if you would get that same cross coaching thing. So we don't
Mm-hmm.
have a whole lot of film on the Huskies when it comes to this coach, but I can go back and
Mm.
watch some old Purdue film. I can go back and watch some old Illinois film and figure it out. And I think that's just going to be the precipice of it. They have a really good quarterback, they have a really good wide receiver, they have a really good running back. Otherwise, they're pretty average. Their scheme is where I think their defensive scheme is where I think we're going to prevail. Um, they're a man-to-man type defense, and when you have a man-to-man type defense, you got to have quality cornerbacks. I'm talking you got to have 100% legit NFL type guys. And I don't know if they
Mm.
have NFL type guys. They have some pretty good guys. We have NFL type guy wide receivers. So
Mm-hmm.
I know we have to perform a particular way on defense, but I think we're going to get pretty explosive on our offensive side of the ball.
Dougie Doug.
King Love, I think Jimmy Bell set the tone very, very well, and you did as well. Just talking about, 4 games into the season, you can kind of really talk about what these teams might be. And I like this matchup against Washington. Talking about it earlier, I played in there in 2007, 18 years ago. I'm giving up my age, even though I'm the baby on the show. It's one of those things where just to remember how beautiful it is, to appreciate the scenery and the fans, like Jimmy said, they get up for those teams. Now it's only 74,000, fans. And I say only because obviously Ohio State plays in front of 100,000 and 90,000 in different stadiums. So this is
Right.
not going to be something that we're not used to. But when it comes down to crossing 3 time zones, when it comes down to Julian Sands' first road game, there's going to be so much that he's going to have to endure in a short period of time. He's going to have to just think about the crowd noise. I know at the Woody this week, they had those huge speakers just to emulate the sound and to kind of get them muffled and to try to have different play calls, be sent out in a different way. And I think about how they went to the Pacific Coast last year, right? They only lost to Oregon. But, you came in with an experienced quarterback. Will Howard obviously played in that matchup many a times and has led his teams in various different battles. Julian Sand, not so much. Now, obviously, he beats Texas. But now looking back at Texas, how good has Texas been? They've been struggling for the entire year. So this is going to be one of those tests that I am so excited to just watch as a football fan and as an old Buckeye. Ryan Day, this being a Big Ten matchup, Ryan Day is 48-0 in the Big Ten against teams not named Michigan or Oregon. So he's been able to prove himself in these particular games. But like Big Jimmy Bell said, they have some proven players in a few different positions. I love Damon Williams, the quarterback. He looked phenomenal against it's called the Apple Cup against Washington State last week, where they dominated 59-24. And this week, Matt Patricia and Ryan Day said that he looked like Kyler Murray. Now I don't know if they meant Kyler Murray in Oklahoma or Kyler Murray against Arizona, and he's kind of struggling with our top top wide receiver and Harrison Jr., but that's another conversation. But to have a quarterback like Damon Williams, who had 298 yards passing, 88 yards on a run, that's 386 total offense. He just keeps the defense on their heels. Now, obviously, Ohio State has different type of beings in that particular defense. You have a number one, maybe top 3 draft pick in Caleb Downs, who Matt Patricia can use in so many different areas to actually kind of slow down that running quarterback. But this is going to be one of those games, even though it's not a ranked opponent, which I'm so surprised that Washington is not ranked right now. It's going to be one of them matchups that we really have to pay attention to. And Ohio State is not taking this game lightly because it is a Big Ten matchup, but it's also a matchup for a young quarterback and a young coordinator. What has Brian Hartline have to do on the road yet? We don't know. And in a Big Ten environment. So as I love this shout out what Jimmy said, the coordinator is the old Purdue head coach. So they know him. Another guy, Michael Brewster, is the assistant offensive line coach for Washington. So a guy that I actually played with against Washington is now coaching them. And as you know, when you have some people on enemy lines in your facility, you use what they know about that school, even their alma mater, against them. You tell them, hey, they put their shoe on and their pants on the same ways that we do. And it's just one of those allure that if you don't look at it closely, it could be a game where in the beginning of the game, Ohio State can prove dominant, but it can be completely the other end. And that's why the spread, I think, is only 8.5, where it started at 10. When do you ever see a non-ranked opponent having a spread that low? So Vegas knows it's going to be a competitive game. Ohio State has a lot to bite off in this particular game. I think they can, but it's going to have some proving to be done in this matchup.
And I think you touched on it. Both you guys kind of touched on it. I was curious as to your thoughts. My main stance, if you will, is that 3-hour time gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that being on the road. I mean, it's the first road test for this team, and specifically this quarterback that ironically comes from the West Coast, right? So, I mean, I guess that's a good thing that he's going on. I don't really know if that plays, if that's relevant per se, but I'm curious as to both of your thoughts on the fact that this is their first trip, outside of the shoe. And I don't know, like I kind of feel the number one ranking is good, but it's not at the same time. When I say not,
Yep.
it's everybody expects us to win. I think we expect us to win, but I also think that not everybody is giving us the flowers. And I think this is a chance for Julian Sayin. I mean, me and Doug were giving him the Heisman a few weeks ago, and Jimmy was giving us
Right.
twisted lips on it. But I mean, seriously, like it's really going to be a chance for those unknowns to really prove what they can do, I think. And I mean, I feel like Doug, like you said, we proved it against Texas, but then what has Texas been since then, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how strong was that win? I still think it was strong. But is it as strong as we thought it was? Well, who cares? So that's my point, is going on the road and going 3 hours behind schedule, because we have the jet lag, not the Huskies. They on their clock. We're going back. So this is what, a 3:30 game. So it's going to be like a noon game to us,
Noon game.
right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But still, you're still making that travel. And again, all these guys, the Bo Jacksons, and all these new starters, it's going to be their first time stepping outside of shoe, and I think they're going to come with it. I really do, because I think they have something to prove, and so it's going to be really interesting to see how well they respond to the lack of flowers and the opportunity to show that they deserve to be where they are. So let's get into it. Let's get into those game time predictions, man. Doug, let's start with you.
Yeah, man, you hit on a couple great points, and I definitely want to bring back up the fact of that travel. The beauty of it, though, coming from the East Coast to the West Coast, you're not as daunted with the fact that you got to get up early. They actually get to kind of
Yeah.
sleep in. Their body is going to feel like the East Coast in 3:30 time, so them getting up at noon is not going to be as a crutch as I think it is on the other side. You even look at Washington last year. They lost every away game on the East Coast to the Big Ten. So they actually got, bit in the foot when it comes down to that travel. But, Ohio State, man, I can't wait to see the game that they put together. It is going to be competitive, to say the least. Mentioning, again, those coaches that know the program at Ohio State. I think it's Ryan Walters is the defensive coordinator that came from Purdue. And my guy, Mike Brewster, who's now the assistant O-line coach. They're going to have that team ready and geared up to make one of the biggest wins in the program. Ohio State, the last time that they beat them, I think it was like in '93, I believe, but also they beat them in 1986 when Ohio State was like top 10. They had Chris Carter, and they beat them 40-7 when they were underdogs. So this is one of those program builders that I feel like, constructed the right way, having a running quarterback, which always gives most defense a little bit of a challenge. It is going to gear up for one of those games. So for me and my prediction, I think Buckeyes still get it done. I think it's a very, very close game. I think it's a 35-24, and Ohio State gets a late score to make it even better. But I think that Washington makes it the game. I think we're actually losing in the first half of the game, and we're going to have to make some adjustments to really pull it out. But I think after this game, even though Washington is not ranked, they actually get ranked off the fact of how competitive they are, and that the country will see that they are a good program, and they're going to do well in the Big Ten going forward.
Man, y'all something else. Y'all something else. Y'all something else. Washington, y'all be giving too much credit to some of these teams. I understand respect, but
Okay.
Washington is not. I'll give you an example. I've always said this. When Slickety Nickety left college football, Nick Saban, I said Alabama and college football is going to look totally different, right? The current coach of Alabama right now is the former coach of Washington. It's a different, it's even a different consistency when it comes to their expectation of winning, right? They expect to win all the time. They know doggone good and well that they're not, right? They know that they're not going, and they've had some incredible players. I'm not going to say Hall of Famers, NFL, but they've definitely had some players that will be on the NFL teams Hall of Fame that they played for. Super strong team, but they're not known to play a team of Ohio State's caliber. I'll give you guys a contrast. Michigan State last year, they got excuse me, 2 times. One more to go. Okay, I got it under control.
Bless you.
They had the Washington State quarterback come in. And I do think he was supposed to make an impact, and he did make an impact. He would have made an impact in the Pac-10. But, homie, this is the Big Ten. This is a totally different game. And a lot of these teams realize that's why I never compare conferences. I never cross conferences because what it means to be successful in one conference is different. I think they got some really dope players. They got 3 of them on offense. And it's gonna be a really good game. It's not really gonna be a tight game. I got it at 33-20 Ohio State. I think it's going to be really a convincing game, minus the fact that we will be running around chasing this dude making big plays all day. I do believe that's the case, but I don't think it's really going to be as close as people think. I don't think the time is going to make a difference. And I'll say this too, Justin. I'm going to be a little honest about this. Bro, we're proving. We haven't proved anything.
Right.
I think that's the beauty of this year. I think it's the beauty of college football. The landscape is it's changed so much that everybody right now has to come with the newness of competition every week. I think people are still, it's almost like competing for the new crown. The king has died. Now where everybody's fighting to take the sword to be the number one. You know what I'm saying? I
come get this crown.
Got the best chance to do it. And I think we got the best coach to do it. And I think we have the best foundation to do it. But we still proving ourselves to have to do it. And I actually like that attitude better than us thinking we're privileged and entitled to that crown.
Well, I got one more thing, King Love, before you get into it.
Sir.
I think Jimmy hit some great points, but again, to appreciate the magnitude of this game, and like you said, us not proving, we got to also remember that Washington, you're going in somebody's backyard. And I don't think it's that big of a deal as far as the time difference, but Washington is coming off a 22-game winning streak at home. They're only second to Georgia far as who has 30. So Washington understands the magnitude of this game alongside of Ohio State being tied for defense. Now the rankings out. They're number 1 with defense with 5.8 points per game. Well, Washington is second in offense with 54.8 points per game. So something's going to have to give. They're both 3-0 teams. You got a 22-game winning streak. So I think it's going to be a close game. I think the fans make a difference for a young quarterback in an environment like this. I think there's going to be a lot to prove for Ohio State. But as you said, our even though you said we're a little bit off, Jimmy, and we ain't agreeing, our scores is pretty close, right? That
Absolutely.
35 to 20. I think it's going to be a little bit at the end where Ohio State just kind of not necessarily dominates, but they're going to put the game away late, and then Washington is going to still be, but Ohio State's going to struggle that first half.
We're going to win.
I think we're
going to dominate. It's going to be dominated. I don't always think dominating is indicative of the score. And part of it is we listen, and we said this, the Texas game coming in. I try to be super honest. Everybody's blowing Texas up. Like, man, Texas ain't no better or worse than we were because we didn't know. But I will say this, the expectation of the roster for Texas was comparable to us. We end up being better, and we are better. Brother, Washington ain't played nobody, bro. They didn't play anybody.
Colorado State was a pretty good win, and Washington State being their rival, they always play each other well. So no, I'm with you. They haven't played a Texas, but we beat Texas 14-7. And my thing is like, what has Texas been? They've kind of struggled in some bumble-o-wuck games, and so I'm with you though.
We literally scrimmaged Texas. But I'm gonna say this, Doug, I'm a lover, and the people I have people in my life It's indicative of my soul. And bro, you have one of the most incredible, loving, graceful souls,
God
bro.
is good.
You
Thank you.
see the best
Got to.
out of everything. I see the honesty in
Yeah.
everything. And listen,
The
my business partner
honesty.
says that. He'd be like, but Jim, how did you know that was that way? I said, bro, it just is what it is.
I
And,
hear you.
and it just is what it is. I think, to be honest with you, comparable, I think they're going to look better than Ohio.
Hmm.
They're going to
Gonna
And
look
we
look
struggle with
better.
Ohio to a certain extent,
than
but I'm with you.
Ohio.
You
And
down with
Ohio put up
OPP?
an
Optimism is
incredible
me.
fight. Ohio
Wait,
put up an
what?
incredible fight.
He didn't hear
Yeah, they
me. I said
did.
you down with OPP. Optimism is me.
Oh, optimism.
I love it. I love it.
Dougie Doug with the remix.
What you got, J
It's
Love?
it's crazy, y'all, because I mean we really
Oh
are on the
man.
same page. Hey, I'm all right with it. So I don't know. I feel like we're all on the same page, man. I mean, I got it. Buckeyes 38, Huskies 21. I think that the Buckeyes are gonna do what they do in the beginning. I think they're gonna stall a little bit in the second and third quarter, but I think at the end of the third quarter they're gonna really put the foot on the gas, and we're gonna keep them. They're gonna get in the end zone a couple times. I think that's the 21 I got. But it's going to be Buckeyes doing what they do. I mean, I think Bo Jackson's going to have a big game. I think he's been due for a big game. Honestly, I think that the Ohio game really brought a lot of attention to what he brings to the team.
Absolutely.
He was definitely under the radar, I felt, for a while at the beginning, but people are starting to see what it do with him. So
The
yeah.
the crazy thing about Bo Jackson, like he has a real football name. Obviously, when you call him Bo
Right.
Jackson, but his
Right.
real name is Lamar, so he's
Lamar,
Lamar
right.
Jackson. Like that's
Yeah.
a cool
So
name to have too.
either
Like
way you go,
either
you
way,
win.
Lamar Jackson or Bo
Yeah.
Jackson. I mean, I'm
That's
excited
dope.
for the
That's
kid. I
dope.
agree with you.
That's dope. You said he has a football name, like a WWE name.
Right.
Stage name over here. That's what's up.
Yeah, dude,
Hey,
that's
well, how we tapping in with y'all this weekend? What's going down?
Hey,
Go
as
ahead, Dougie Doug.
always, Jimmy Bell, all is well. The King, we go up to the good old Gala Park an hour before the game. Every game, we'll be there about 2:30. An extensive menu, everything that you would want to eat, for some finger foods or some things you might need with a fork and a knife. Big Jimmy got a steak last week. I might follow. Well, the week we was there, I might follow suit. But it's just a great time, great environment. I'm always excited to talk about the Buckeyes. King Love, Justin Love, tell us where you gonna be and how can we hear from you?
Oh my gosh. So I will be the official homecoming DJ for Pickerington Central on
Nice,
Saturday. So
nice.
that's
Nice.
going down. Then we'll be on 106.7 The Beats Saturday and Sunday, and WCOL Sunday morning, WNCI this weekend as well. So that's what's going down with me, man.
Beautiful. You deserve it. And they can catch you if they need some houses. They can check you out, right?
Come on, man. It's. I mean, I'm all over the place. We're a Columbus House team. We sell more houses than any EXP team in the state of Ohio.
There you
I
go.
think we're number 2 in volume in Central Ohio right now. So yeah, so we do investment, we do commercial, we do residential, we do it all, baby.
And
We
then
do it
Jimmy,
all,
if
baby.
that's the case, Jimmy got insurance for you. Y'all need
He
to tag
sure
team.
does. You
Jimmy
daggone
got the
right.
insurance when you
They
buy the
just
house,
sure
and you get
does.
the insurance from Jimmy, man. Plug.
Yep.
Dougie Doug trying to get it all out there, baby.
God is good. Won't he do it?
That's what we
Hallelujah.
do. Hey, let's drop a love note while we leave. Dougie Doug, what you got, man?
Yeah, man. I found one special to this game, and what we were talking about is from Brian Tracy. It says, "It
Yeah.
doesn't matter where you're coming from. All that matters is where you're going." So don't matter we
Love
coming
it.
from Columbus. It matters about going to Miami, Florida, and being in the national championship at the end of the year, and that's where I think we'll be. Go Bucks.
Love it.
JB.
Hey, mine comes from the philosophical. I heard it from the philosophical theologian, poet by the name of Ice Cube. No,
Come
I
on.
did hear him.
Hey.
Come on. Come on. I
He
like how
said
you
this.
All
did
right.
that.
I'm teasing. He said this at the University of Colorado homies. He said, "Don't expect a reward for the work that you didn't put in.
That part.
Don't
Oh,
expect a reward from the work that you didn't put in. And I'm gonna put a little caveat on it for me.
Mm.
Don't expect something to come out. Don't expect stuff to come to you, or expect stuff to come to you, or don't be surprised at what comes to you from the
Mhm.
lifestyle that you put out in the environment.
Well
Mm.
said. That's a
Love it.
bar.
Love it. Mine comes from the timeless Nelson Mandela. He said, "A winner is just a dreamer who never quit."
There you go.
Big Nelson.
We better make Huskies
Goodbye,
quit on
Mike.
Saturday. We're gonna have a whole nother different attitude next week.
Real quick before we get out of here, Dougie Doug, what did when you guys played Washington, did they have, who was the guy? Who was their
They had a highly touted, recruited Jake Locker.
Oh
Jake
wow.
Locker, quarterback.
Wow.
He was
He
big
was
time for
solid.
that.
He was a big boy. I remember tackling him a few times. I actually started. That was my redshirt sophomore year, first year that I start, and that was the biggest game for me up until that point. So to go out there and to be James Laurinaitis right behind me. Todd Beckman was my quarterback. We had Brian Hartline caught a touchdown pass. Brian Robisky caught a big one as well. We dominated, but they were, they had a great team spirit. They didn't quit. We were playing all into the fourth quarter, and like I said, the environment was beautiful. Right off the water, it had a little bit of a breeze to it, even though it's probably around this time or maybe a little bit earlier. But it was a great game. Having those all whites on is always the whites with the gray. It was a good moment for me, man. It was cool and crazy to think that it was 18 years ago. So it was phenomenal.
Cali boys are different. Like they're not different. That's not what I mean. Cali boys are super athletic. Even the Samoans, the South Pacificers, they're
Yeah,
actually some of the most incredible, freaky athletes
I agree.
you'll ever see. I think what's gonna be dope about this whole Big Ten, Pac-10 thing is that next level. It's almost like playing AAU competition. You being the
There you go.
dominant guy, you
Yep.
go out to Chicago, you go out to New York, you
Eyes
go
get
out
like
out
this.
west, and you see those guys playing. You like, oh, let me get. You be like,
Your
let me get
eyes
my
get
game
big. Your
together.
eyes get big.
You like,
Yeah.
I thought I was a baller, and I
Right.
think that's what's going to happen. When I played, it was an incredible running back, and you guys will remember this name as soon as I spit it out. Napoleon Kaufman.
Oh gosh.
Napoleon
Wow.
Kaufman. He
Yeah.
also went and played for the Raiders. Hey, bro,
Mm-hmm.
not only was he fast, he looked fast. Like
That part.
hey man, he was an incredible running back, and he definitely showed us that we had to step our game up when we played him out there. So
There
good.
you go.
That's why I asked the question.
Absolutely.